Hello everyone. Hi, it's Jo here. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see if I can get a full screen view of me for a little while we get set up. How's everyone doing? Are you okay? Let me just see if this is all working. Um, how are we today? I hope you're doing well. We'll give everyone a little chance to join us, and I'm just double checking on here. Oh, and there I am. Hello. Hello to me. So, how is everybody on this? What day is it? It's Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. I've got a few ideas, and I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know, because I've changed the microphone setup, because when I went to full screen last time you couldn't hear me. In fact, let me try to turn up my sound. Oh, yeah, I can hear me. Yay! I can hear myself, so that's good. So that means that works. So that's a big plus for today. So we are hot off the back of a show this weekend, which if there are any of you that we met at the show this weekend who didn't know of us before and are joining us today, then please do say hello. It's lovely to have you here. And I'm still catching up on all of the things that I needed to do, before we left. And then things that obviously have built up while we've been away. So, I feel like I'm playing catch up. So, hence the bags under the eyes today. But hello, Ashley. How are you? Hello, lovely. So, yes, we're part of the things that I'm catching up on are the design team call applications. So, if you have applied for the design team and you haven't heard from me yet, then unfortunately, that does mean that you haven't been chosen for the team this time. There have been so many applications that I've applied to the successful applicants directly and any guest design applications. And we will be making the announcements of who those successful applicants have been a bit later on today. So that's the first little bit of news just to get out of the way. So I am really sorry if you weren't successful this time. We've had so many fabulous applications. I can't even tell you. It was so difficult to make the decision. And it has taken me a long time. So I apologise for the wait. But yes, we will be having our design team announcement a little bit later on. So, hello Julie, how are you? So moving on to what I'm going to be doing today. So I'll flip to the other view so that you can see what I've got on my desk. Look at me getting all technical. So I have got here, hi Laura, how are you? So I've got here in front of me some little bits and pieces that I've started just preparing. How's the lightage? Do I need more light? Do we think it's a fairly decently bright day today outside, so I'm sticking with the light that we've got here. I've just got one of my studio lights on, and I'm hoping that that's not too dark for you guys. So what I've got here in front of me are some of the cards that I made. Hello Jane. During our the show. So the show that we went to at the weekend was called the Stamping Together Festival at Port Sunlight, which is near Liverpool. And while so myself and Ant went to the show together, set up everything, and we Ant takes care of all of the payments and make sure everybody knows what they're doing there, while I do some demonstrating. And I demonstrated and made these 4 cards. Well, this one I didn't quite finish until I got home, but I had to finish it because I thought it was really cute. And if any of you have seen our TikTok or stories this week, you'll see that I did smudge his nose. So I made a little correction there rather than redoing it. So unless you get close up, you can't actually see the error that I made. But I thought it was really cute. And then I made these other little cards while we were there demonstrating as well. So I just thought I'd share those with you because I thought they were really, really cool. And I really enjoyed making them. And one of the things that I really enjoy about going to shows and doing these demos is that I don't have anything planned. I just literally just pull something out of my stash that I've brought with me, which I can't bring everything. As you can appreciate, we can't take all of my stamps, all of my dies. I just take a handful. I take some pre-coloured images. That was a pre-coloured image, but these are coloured on the day. And take out some stencils, and I just make something. I also don't take my large die cutting machine, so I'm restricted to. Oh, I can't speak. Restricted to the smaller dies, which also adds another kind of element to it. So yeah. So I find it very freeing, I think is the word, because I can just be random and craft with what I've got. So I really enjoyed that. So I thought I'd share those with you because I enjoyed them. But for today, I think I'm going to make an Easter card. So I think we've spoken about this before. Easter and Halloween cards are something that I really enjoy making, but I don't actually send out to anyone. So, but that doesn't stop us from creating them, does it? Because we make them for ourselves and for our own enjoyment. So yeah, so that's what I'm intending to do. And I'm going to use our little blooming bunnies, which is not necessarily a Easter set, but it's got a lot of images in there that I think work for the season. So, and obviously it's got our cute little bunnies in there. So that really helps. And I'm going to make a slimline card. So I've got a UK DL size card here, but I'm actually going to trim that down so that it fits our slimline nesting dies. So these are our slimline nesting dies. This is the second largest of those, and I'm going to use that as a guide to just trim down the DL card because I think that's going to work really nicely. Now I've not decided yet whether I'm going to stick with this card base colour. It's a little bit of an off-white. It's not perfect. What you can see even on screen there, the contrasting colour. So this is our brilliant white super smooth cardstock, and you can see the contrasting colour there. It makes the card base look almost creamy, doesn't it? Because this is a brilliant white and this one is not. So but I don't mind that because we're going to colour this anyway, so it could be that works, but we'll see as we go along. Just catching up on some comments there. Jane says she's sorry she missed the show at the weekend as she didn't get back until 3:30, but we'll try and catch the next one. That's absolutely fine, Jane. It would be lovely to see you, of course. Laura says, did the show go well? And lots of people. Popping in quickly, says Laura Ann, as off to work, but got to get 1 teaspoon to a birthday party soon. Wow. And Tita says, bonjour. Bonjour to you too. I still haven't learnt any more French, so I'm really sorry about that. Right, I'm just going to get my stencil. So, Laura, the show did go well. There were lots of people at points throughout the day, so it wasn't like constant, like maybe we've experienced at sort of a crafting live at Doncaster. But yeah, it was definitely very busy at points. Ant had quite the queue, which was very funny. Bless him, because we've only got one till, obviously, and we've only got one card reader, so we have to you know, there's only him that can take the payments, so people did have to queue a little bit, which was funny, and people were struggling where to queue because people were trying to get into the shop to look around, but people were also queuing, so it was so yeah, so that was cool. It's always nice to be busy at these events. Julie Dawson, hello there. First time watching, but poorly with COVID. Oh no, I hope that we can help you pass the time a little bit. I've been there myself, and it's very, excuse me, got a little bit of a tickle. It can be very, I suppose, you just feel very lethargic and don't want to do anything and don't want to really contend with anything. So there's no better time to just sit and watch other people craft, I think. Although I got quite frustrated because I wanted to craft, but I couldn't. I just didn't have the will to do anything really, apart from just sit in my pajamas. Okay, let's have a little slurp of my drink and let's get this show on the road. So I'm going to do some nice pastel-y colours. Now, the other issue that I have got at the moment is that I did leave some of my, when we unpacked the van, we've dropped stuff off at the shop, things that were meant to be for the shop, and I've left some of my crafty bits there, which is very annoying, because I'd obviously put them in a different place to what I thought. So, yeah, annoyed with myself for that. So, so that means I don't have everything that I want here, but I think I might be able to work around it. I wanted to go for some really nice bright pastel colours because, spoiler alert, I am going to make a shaker card, and I'm going to use some of our Easter parade shaker bits because why not? I mean, they're gorgeous for a start. So I wanted to use colours that were kind of in here. Now, the green in here is not really green, is it? So I might be able to get away with, because I've not brought home my mowed lawn, which I'm finding very, very annoying. Evergreen bow's a bit too dark. Maybe the cracked pistachio would go quite nice. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful combo. I'm into it. Yeah, there we go. That's decision made. So let's have a look at some what brush shall I use? Shall I use my teal brush or my green? I think I'm going to use my green. And just give that a little bit of a rub, just in case it has got a little bit of green on there. And rub that off. And then I'm going to use my mat here to help me just hold this in place. And I'm going to add a little bit of green along the bottom. So this is just to give us a nice pastel-y colour for our foreground. And I did have an idea that I might want to do some tone-on-tone stamping onto here as well to make our own patterned paper, but I've not decided yet whether I am going to do that. I don't want to make it too busy because we are having a shaker element, and I'm also going to have a nice bold sentiment on here as well. So we'll just get a little bit of the cracked pistachio down. Grab that. So one of the things that I've forgotten to bring with me is the caddies, the spinning caddies for my brushes. So I've got them all squashed up into a pot at the moment, which I'm not a fan of. So I can't wait to get my caddies back. So this is a lovely yellow squeezed lemonade. This is definitely going to give me some springy vibes. And I've got Rosie sat down here next to me. I wish I could show you. She's fully asleep, bless her. But she's not a fan, as you know, of the die cutting machine, which we are going to have to use. But she prefers that to the sound of the heat gun. So hopefully we'll not disturb her too much. And I'm just going to go over this line here to blend those two colours together, because the yellow has taken away some of that green. So I just want to go over that a little bit. So that green comes a little bit more to the forefront. Oh, it's rubbish, Julie. I do think it's, yeah, I'm definitely not a fan. I'm really, really hopeful that I don't get it again. So, although I think numbers have risen, haven't they? Which is a shame. And I do think at some point those of us that are reasonably healthy, you know, not vulnerable, are probably just going to have to accept that we're going to get it at some point, aren't we? But I have to say that Ant has been so fortunate that he's not got it, because I know people at his workplace have had it. Where's my pink? Here it is. Obviously I had it, but he didn't catch it off me. So yeah, he's not had it yet, but he is, you know, he's very, very healthy. So maybe his immune system's just a bit stronger. So I feel like that maybe I've gone up a bit too high with that green. I want a bit more of this pink to show. So we might have to come down with some of that yellow again. But I do love this colour combination. I think it's so pretty and so spring-like. You know me, I do like my bright colours. But it was really nice to be at the show on Saturday, just to see real people. We chatted to lots of lovely people who we've not seen for a while, people who don't know us, you know, and haven't heard of Time for Tea. So that's really lovely, you know. So it's always nice to, you know, hopefully meet new people and new friends of Time for Tea. So let's try some of that yellow again, just to create a little bit more yellow across the middle there. So it's a little bit more evenly placed. That's better. That is the good thing about the oxides, is that you can add your colour over the top. Lovely. I'm not adding any more colour to the green. I'm just going to just blend that edge a little bit, whatever's left on the brush there. Lovely. Right. Okay. So pop those to one side. Oh, one of the things that I did forget to bring home as well. So annoyed with myself, is my stamp chamois, which I love my stamp chamois. So that means I'm going to have to use a baby wipe. Now, my stamp chamois I prefer because it doesn't actually really, although it's wet, it's not super wet, so it doesn't, you know, leave my surface wet for any length of time, whereas the baby wipe does. So, but it's going to work at a pinch, isn't it? So Julie's in bed recuperating. What's everybody else up to today? Anybody watching from work on their lunch breaks? Do I need that again? I don't think I do, so I'm going to pop this away. Okay, what have I done with that? Did have an elastic band around it, but what I've done with it. It'll turn up. Julie says gorgeous Easter combo and the colours are beautiful. Thank you, Julie and Julie. We normally have a handful of Alisons, don't we? Now we've got some lovely Julies. Right, so I'm going to do a bit of splattering here with some water. So I'm going to use my fan brush, and I'm just, oh, that was a huge dollop. Silly me. So don't do that. I did mean to have it hovering over my acrylic block. But you know what? Don't worry. Don't worry, dear friends, because we're probably going to cut that bit out. So in the next stage of the event, right, let's pop that up there. Now I'm going to blot this with a bit of kitchen roll, which I did remember to bring home. This was quite a favourite technique actually at the show. People did really enjoy this bit. So we have got quite a big dollop there, look. But don't despair, because we are going to cut some bits out. So I'm quite happy with that, I think. We don't have many splatters down the bottom, but that's okay because we're going to have our sentiment down there. And you see, once we put some of our characters on, that's not going to be too much of an issue, I don't think. So don't worry about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out some oval shapes from our oval scalloped die set. Oh, excuse me, I got itchy nose. So if we have one in the middle, you see, and we have one there, that's probably going to cut most of that out. So don't worry. Don't worry, there'll just be a little bit. So let me just line this up on here and see if I can work out roughly where the middle is based on the squares. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, was that 32 I think? So it'll be 15 plus 1. So 5, 10, 15 plus 1. That makes that about central, I would say. So we've got 5, 10, 15 plus 1. Works out perfectly. Yeah. That's one of the few times that my maths has worked. So let's put this through the Gemini, and then we can cut out the other two. And then I need to figure out what I've done with my acetate, because I always lose my acetate because you can't see it, can you? So there we go. Oh, dropped it. Because this little oval is super cute. So this little oval here has got a nice little stitched frame on it. You can use that on something else, which is cute. Julie says, lol, as Julie's get about, I'm on the sofa watching, eating some lunch that you can't taste. Yeah, that is awful as well. I agree. And Julie says, Julie number 1. I'll call Julie number 1 because she was here first. I tried to get bits ready for college while doing a bit of tidying and hoping to craft in a bit. Didn't get to craft at the weekend. I was doing you an assignment. Oh, it sounds like you're doing so much work. So let's have a look here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like that is a good position about there. So I'm not really, doing any particular lining up here. I am just doing this by eye. You can be all technical if you want to, but that's not me. I do things by eye to save me time. At the end of the day, it's a handmade card, made with love, so if there's a few imperfections, I'm sure nobody minds. So there we go. Now, we don't have much room around the outside, but what we could do, if you wanted to, was create a little frame using these two dies together, and that would make a nice little stitched frame. So I feel like I'm inclined to potentially do that. Because I think that would look really, really nice, a little bit of a raised frame. So my only debate really is what colour I might do it in. So we'll come back to that shortly. So I can see now that even though I thought I had lined these up really well, I think that's still pretty central, isn't it? I think that's pretty central. So 5, 5 and 6, yeah, I think that looks about right there. I thought I hadn't lined them up correctly, but I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so and you see our little splatter accident has been removed. Nobody will ever know that ever existed, which is pretty cool. And then we've got our 3 little holes there. Oh, I love that. Okay, so Laura Sensor is off now and we'll watch the replay later. So you see, you can use these. See you soon, Laura, and have a great day. So you could potentially use these 3 elements on a different card because they look really cute. Julie Dawson says, other dies on the website, Joe. They are beautiful dies. You might treat yourself for your birthday. That would be a very nice treat for your birthday. I can only encourage such things. And yes, they are on the website. If there's any of the design team watching who's got access to the link, then they might be able to pop that in the comments. I know there's a couple that maybe Julie might be able to do it. Jane, I mean. Excuse me while I blow my nose. She might have access, but I know she's at work, so she might not be able to. I don't have my usual helpers here. But it's called, if you want to look on the website, it's the oval scallop nesting die set. So I'm going to trim this down while I'm thinking about it to the size that I want. So this is just a normal UK sized DL card, but the US size DLs or slimline cards are a little bit slimmer than ours. So the easy way to deal with that, I find, is to buy a UK DL size card and just trim it down. No bother. Really easy to do. Especially with that trimmer, that tonic trimmer, which is so good. It goes through the 2 pieces, no bother. So I am inclined to make a little frame as well with these. My only concern, again, is that they're going to be bright white and my background's not. And I don't think I have any, like, more of an off-white. My only other option would be to colour the cardstock and make it a different colour. I don't think I have any cream-coloured cardstock. I think I've been through this issue before, haven't I, where I don't actually possess cream-coloured cardstock. That's fairly creamy. It's quite pretty, actually, that. It's very thick. What do we think about that? That doesn't fit across my background. But I don't know, would it make a nice frame? It might make a nice background, actually, for our shaker. I'm quite partial to that. And then the frame would match. Should we try that? Apologies for the noise there. I knocked my plates off the table, so that made a nice sound, didn't it? That woke everyone up. That woke you up, Rosie. Okay, so let's just trim this down. I do like this, actually, as a background colour. This is super thick cardstock. That's okay. So that can be a nice little background there. nice, doesn't it? And then you see our little guys are going to sit in there. It's very cute, isn't it? Okay, so let me just try and find some acetate there with. I have definitely seen a large piece of acetate somewhere very recently. I've got some acetated bits in there. Where would I have put it? I suppose. That's the trouble with acetate, you can't see it. There it is. I knew I had. There we go. There it is. Here's the oh, Jane, thank you so much. You're a star. You are an absolute star. So, I don't need those quite at the minute, but I might do shortly. So I'll just pop them there. And I'm going to take my piece of acetate here. And I'm going to stick it. Actually, I'm going to stick it directly onto here and then cut round it. So what shall I stick it on with? I'm going to stick it with my tape pen, actually. Just because it gives a quicker adhesion, quicker stick, and you can't see it. I'm going to make sure that I've got it all nicely stuck on, and then we'll line up one edge. There we go. It doesn't have to be straight because you're not going to see it, as long as we've not got any holes. And then I can just snip off the excess. I love making shakers. I mean, who doesn't love a shaker? Love to receive a shaker. So that's going to be, oh, that's going to look so cute. Put my little bunny, one little bunny there. Lovely. So let's build up our shaker. I'm going to do the shaker bit first. So we've got the shaker element complete, and then we can start decorating the front. Shani says, so sad I couldn't make it Saturday. Currently day 7 of COVID and I feel dreadful. May need to do another online order to cheer you up. Bless you. And Laura Rumble says, yes, the shakers are the best. They are so good. I've definitely got a tickle in my nostrils. Feel a little sneeze. Might be pending, Rosie. Right, so let's snip this here. I think I'm gonna do double. What do you think, Rosie? Should we do double? Should we double up? I think I might do double. So what I'm gonna do, so the important thing with shakers, in fact I'm gonna do right up close to. The important thing with shakers is, depending on where, you know, you want your shaker bits to sit, you need to have a closed loop, if that makes sense. So you can't have any gaps, otherwise all your shaker bits will escape. And that is not good. So, and I'm going to do some down the middle here so that we can have different compartments of shakers, because then what that will mean is that each shaker is going to have, you know, equal amounts of shaker bits in there at any one time, so they won't all go to kind of one area and spread out too much. So, and then I'm just going to add a bit to the ends here just to give those ends some support as well. a little bit off the edge there. So let's take off the back of this, and then I'm going to do another layer. So one thing that when we Julie will know this, we had a class recently at our workshop in Sheffield, and we did shaker cards, and we had a little bit of a debate as to whether do you take your shaker tape backing off first before you put your shaker bits in. And really, either way was as traumatic as the other, depending on how careful you were. So my other half, bless him, he got involved, made a beautiful card that he gave to his mum for Mother's Day. But we did have a little bit of a trauma when he took the backing off his tape before adding his shaker bits, and he ended up with shaker bits stuck all over them. So that was a bit of a maybe we shouldn't have done it that way, but to be fair, it could happen whichever way you decide to do it. So I think the trick is just to be a little bit careful if you can. So this roll of foam tape I have had forever. It's one of the Time for Tea ones, and I love this tape so much, and it has lasted me for ages, and you can see that it has been totally used and abused. So I'm trying my best to line these up. It's a little bit tricky to do. You can see I've got a little bit of an overlap there, because the thing to be aware of is that if you've got any sticky showing, when you put your shaker bits in, they could stick to those. So I'll show a little trick that we can use to try and combat that, to stop the kind of sticking and the static business. But you know, if you've got a lot of sticky showing, that may still cause you a bit of an issue. So I'm going to grab, she says if you can find it, there it is. So this is my EK Success tool that's got anti-static powder in it, and I'm going to use this to go around the inside of each of my little wells that I've created, and it will add a little bit of that anti-static powder and just reduce some of that stickiness on the inside. So then hopefully, all being well, my stickiness will not interfere with anything. I'm just checking that you can't see any of those bits of tape, and then that is going to sit over the top of there perfectly. So these are the Easter Parade sticky bits, shaker bits, sticky bits, shaker bits. So let's have a look. Laura says, oh, hang on a minute. Julie says definitely a personal preference on when to take the backing off the shaker tape. Yes, exactly. And Laura says it depends how skilled you are at removing backing tape, and I'm lacking in that department. I know this is it. When you take the backing tape off and then it springs up, that's when you have a problem. But if you're pouring in your bits and they go all over your sticky, if you've already taken the back, it's a nightmare either way you do it, I think, isn't it? So I'm going to try a little experiment here, seeing as we're talking about, you know, how tricky this can be. I'm going to put a nice handful of my shaker bits into this little dispenser. This is a little tray that I got from Twiddler's Ink. They're based in America. I think there may be one left in the shop. I wouldn't like to swear to it. I love them. They're just very expensive to import. You see, look how it's moving around now, me taking the backing tape off this. And our backing tape is really easy to get off. But you get your fingers stuck to bits and, oh, nightmare. So I'm going to take it all off. I'm going to be brave. And then I'm going to use this this cool little tray to help me dispense my bits. So stay there. So it's got this little lip here, which is a bit like a little pouring device. So I'm going to try and direct my bits into the centre of each one. And I want a nice amount in there because I want to fill it with colour. That's not actually a piece. So do we think they look around evenly spread? Put a bit more in the centre one. They've got such cute little bits in there. Yeah, this is, I think. I have this thing where sometimes I put too much in, and other times I wish I'd put more in. I don't know which side of this is best, but so now this is a good trick for making a shaker. If you're not putting a coloured backing onto your shaker, put another piece of acetate over the back, and that will really help you when you come to put it on the front of your card base, because you'll be able to see where you're lining it up. So I'm going to pop my piece of card over the back there. Make sure that all of those bits are nicely stuck down. And then when we turn it over, we've got our three little shakers. That one's got a little bit stuck together in the middle there, but it'll come apart, I'm sure. Just needs a little bit of knocking around. It's got wedged, fully wedged, that one. Come on, unwedge yourself. Oh, that's it, isn't it? Unwedged it. There we go. Yay! And the other thing that you can do is you can add, you can perhaps stick some of your designs on the back so that it's always got shaker elements in it somewhere, even when it's not upright, on its back, sorry, or flat. Oh, I love that. Julie says that she's got a sieve-like tool for her crystal art gems and never thought until now that you could use it for directing bits into your shaker cards. Exactly, that's the, yeah. But I think we're sometimes just a little bit impatient, aren't we? Well, I know I am. So I'm going to make one little frame here, as I originally suggested, just to see what it looks like. I might not use it in the end, but I feel like it's worth trying. So I'm going to line up these two. It's only a piece of cardstock at the end of the day. We can try these things, and if we like them, we'll use them. If we don't, then we don't have to, do we? So let's pop this through here and see what this looks like. See whether it adds anything or not. But I'm happy with that. I think that's come out really cute. And then we can colour in some more of these little bunnies as well. So again, I've got my nice little my little oval piece, but then I've also got a really nice little frame, and I don't know whether that just finishes it off, makes it look a little bit more kind of finished. So let's pop that on there, and what do we think? I think that could look really good. So can we fit one on there? I think we can, can't we? That's on there. And then I'm also creating three little little cream ovals, like little Easter eggs, which again I can use on another card. Oh, that's cute. I like the frame. That's the great thing about having a nesting die set, is that you've always got the option of adding a frame then if you want to. And it's got the stitch detail, which is a really nice touch. A nice bit of extra detail, isn't it? So, that one's still stuck to my plate. Oh, doesn't want to come off. So, we've got some nice little frames on there. And then we're going to have our little bunnies. That's cute. So, I did intend on doing like an Easter sentiment. So let's just have a little look at this, because it's going to be quite large and I don't know whether we've got enough room for it. So Easter, what am I doing? It's going to be back to front, isn't it? Easter. So happy Easter. That works, doesn't it? I think that works. And then I was going to use the large happy, but I feel like that might be too big. But I do have in my dies. So let's have a quick look through our dies here. I have got a little scripty happy, or I've got the scripty happy might be nice. To contrast with the non-scripty Easter. So then we could have the happy there. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Right, that's cute. So, and it has got a little outline, so we could cut the outline in that. Oh, I could do. Right, okay. Decisions. So let's get organised here for a little bit. There's a couple of bits that I need to do here to prepare for the next stage. So let me put my dies away because we've done with those. Laura says this is looking super cute. Thank you. Yes, I'm happy how it's coming together. It's gradually coming together, isn't it? So I'm going to take my piece of cardstock that we used earlier, and I'm going to do some ink blending on here. So I will get my little mat back out, because I'm going to use the same pink that we used to for our background, and I'm going to use that for my Easter, so that it matches. So I don't need huge amounts. Just need enough to spell out my word. Love a bit of ink blending. What do you think, Rosie? So, is that going to be enough? Probably need a little bit more, don't we? A little bit So do we have any scrapbookers with us this week? Anybody who's interested in finding out a little bit more about modern memory keeping, perhaps pocket pages and the like, because that's what next week's Tuesday day session will be about. So I'll be here next Tuesday, and I will be doing a bit of memory keeping using the new Time for Tea products, as well as some other bits and bobs. So I think I'm going to do, I'm possibly going to cut my outline out in the green. So I'm going to just, so we've got opposites, you see. That's my thought process, anywho. Let's see if that works out. So I'm just going to add a nice bit of green. So on Thursday night, Julie, as you're new, we do Thursday at 8 o'clock here on Facebook and YouTube. So sorry, Laura, I didn't mean a new release, the last memory keeping release. But keep your eyes peeled, because there is a new release coming very, very soon. And I do have some new products to share with you as well on Tuesday. So they're not Time for Tea products, but they are new to Time for Tea products. So they are super exciting. I can't wait to show them you. So I don't want to like mislead you. It's not Time for Tea products, but they are new products to Time for Tea. I think that made sense. So I'm going to snip this down, because I do like this cardstock, and I think I'm going to use it to do my images on. Don't need all of it, so I'm just going to snip it down to a more manageable size. We'll pop that there. Pop that there. Shall we die cut these now while we're die cutting? I think that would probably be a wise choice, wouldn't it? So let's pop these down. Gotcha. Honestly, I'm so excited to share them with you. You're gonna love them. Right, let's get a bit of washi on here. So many things happening at the minute. I can't even tell you. There's just like so many things going on. I am finishing off the next release, which will be due in the summer, but we're also waiting for dies to arrive for the release that will hopefully go live the end of April. So if you're hanging on for that one, that's the intended date for it. I just need my dies to arrive, which they haven't done just yet. Been a few manufacturing delays, but I'd rather it be right. Sometimes, you have to wait for things so that they're all right, don't you? So that's on its way. So I've just trimmed these down a little bit, because I'm going to use my little die cutting machine here. So this is my little Happy Doodle machine. My other machine I've left at the shop as well. Not done very well, have I really? I've left a lot of things there. But at least I've got an alternative here. At least I don't take the whole thing with me, because then I would be in trouble. So I'm just going to use the E again. Pop that in there, and then we can just pop the rest of these out. Through. I do find the smaller little manual machine much easier for when I've just got a couple of little bits to do. The smaller dies, and it's very handy for taking places as well, like taking to the show this weekend was so much easier to just carry a little machine than taking the great big one, and obviously it doesn't need any electricity either, which is always a bonus. So that's my outline. Now my word piece, I'm going to grab some of this and cut some of this down. I'm just going to use some of this same colour of the cream, then that will coordinate with everything else that we've got going on, hopefully, and will stand out against that green. I couldn't decide whether to do the cream background or the green background, so we'll see which one. Oh, I've cut the end off it. What's a nana? Let's try that again. Cut the end off my Y. Must not have lined it up very well, or it moved. One of the two. And I don't know why I'm using the world's smallest scissors to cut that out. What a sausage. Let's try that again. It cuts out really nice as well. It looks really pretty. Right, so. It cuts all the way, yes. Come out, come out. There we go. Just grab my pokey tool and just poke those little bits out. Oh, there we go. And then that will sit on top of the green. That will go on there. Let me show you where we're up to so far so you can get a sense of what we're doing. Sorry about the glare. That's a little bit better, isn't it? So we've got our happy with the green background, which I think is going to look kind of cute. But we don't have to use that background piece. I kind of like it. And then we're going to have Easter in the pink at the bottom. Such a pretty little card. Let's get that over there. Does it all fit? Oh, so cute. Now then, there is part of me that is thinking, do I need any more than one bunny? So we could have bunny in the middle there, and a bunny on each one. What do you think? 3 bunnies? Just the one bunny. Decisions. I think it looks rather cute, doesn't it? Jane says, such a cute idea to use the ovals as eggs and looking super cute. It looks cute, doesn't it? And I love the colours. The colours are really giving me springy vibes, making me feel very cheerful and Easter-like. That's the thing. Can you be Easter-like? Right, let me get rid of that before I lose it as well. Tidying myself up here. So I like the setup so far, but I do think it probably does need something in these other bits. So let's have a look. If we were to have bunny there and bunny there, what do we think? Yeah, I think the 3 bunnies is really cute, isn't it? So, and they don't take a lot of colouring. So let's grab our stamping platform here, and let's line this up, and then bunny number 1, bunny number 2. I might have to do them this way around. Bunny number 2. And do have my stamping inks, thankfully. I did remember to bring those home, Rosie. So that's good news. Now then, what colour did I colour him in? Did I colour him in? It looked like the E40s, that's what I'm going to say. So let's just... This is such a fab card. Oh, thank you, Julie. That's really cute. That's really sweet of you to say. It's coming together, isn't it? And we're not doing too bad for time for me. So let's just give that an extra stampage. Let's find my baby wipe. I'm just going to give that a bit of a clean. Be careful with your baby wipes cleaning your stamps, because some of them are quite fibrous and they can leave like little strands and fibres onto your card. Onto your stamp, sorry, and that will then transfer onto your card when you stamp. So, and that can be very frustrating. So yeah, just be aware that can be a thing. And that's away. So let's have a look. E40s, I think, is what I will have used here. Looking at it, but if not, these two could be slightly different coloured bunnies. But the E40s are a little bit of a kind of a greyer brown, I feel. So I'm starting with the lightest shade of this, but I might need to go quite a bit darker. Because these two bunnies are going on the other side of our middle bunny, it kind of doesn't matter if they're a little bit of a different colour. That's what I'm going to go with anyway. So I'm going to spread most of this colour over that base that I've already put down. I'm going to give him a different colour belly. And I'm going to start with this colour, the E41, with this card, with this bunny rabbit, because I think he needs to be a bit darker. Oh, my E41 is very dry. So what you will find is that by putting down a layer of the other colour first, that helps the E41 spread. So I'm just going to do that. So if you've got a dry marker, it is a good idea to use a lighter colour to really saturate your paper a bit first. But yeah, this one's definitely, you can see, look, it's really on its way out. There's no colour left, so that's needing addressing, isn't it? No E41. So let's go in for the E42 then. Bit of darker colour around the bottom of his ears, and then I'm going to spread some of this colour over the majority of his face, because we're going to struggle now to really, because that E41 has let me down. I think I'm going to have to go a bit darker with this bunny. There we go. I think this is perhaps the right combination of colours though, so that's good. So do you guys, you're all colourists. Julie, are you a colourist? You like to play with your markers? And if so, what are your favourite? I had a lot of people, I always, when I'm at the shows, a lot of people ask me about what markers I use. So these are the Copic markers, but I have been known to use the Spectrum Noirs, the Tri-Blends and the Illustrator, which are really good. So I'm going to go in with the darker E43 now and really kind of add that bit of depth now. So to the base of the ears is always good, and anything that you kind of think is going to be in a bit of shade. So under the paws and the bottom of the paws, where the body is creating an overlap, anywhere where that's happening, it's always good to just add a little bit of extra colour. And the same on the back of the head, that's where I like to add a little bit more shading. There we go. Oh, that's cute. And then we'll go back in with the E42. Just to blend that out. Oh, I've gone all quiet because I'm colouring in. I do enjoy colouring in. I'm really looking forward to stamping out all of the new release stuff and giving that a go. So Julie says yes, she loves the Copic sketch markers. Tried a lot of others but prefer Copics, and I do have some illustrators. Laura says she's only expanded to Copics this year. She usually uses watercolour or coloured pencils. Laura, I love the look of coloured pencils, and I really want to do some more colouring with those. I think that's a really good look, so I must try that. And Emma says, hiya, sorry I missed the beginning, but the gas man was here to service the boiler. Typically turns up when you don't want them to. That's so funny. Well, at least he's turned up. So my mum and dad, bless them, have been having a new kitchen fitted, but it's been taking forever for them to get it finished, bless them, because their fitter keeps not turning up and going to other jobs. So yeah, they've had a pretty bad experience with it so far. So and I will do a bit of a shout out for them in terms of negative publicity for Wren Kitchens. So Wren Kitchens, based in the UK, have been absolutely awful for my mum and dad. Their experience has been terrible. They've given them poor advice on how to set up the kitchen for certain parts. They've then not appointed a reliable fitter, and then when my mum and dad have complained, they've told them it's tough and they're just going to have to live with it, which I think is really poor. So and they've paid a lot of money for this kitchen. Wren Kitchens are not cheap, so they deserve much better experience than they've received. So yeah, so there you go. Don't use Wren Kitchens would be my advice. Copics seem a lot quicker than pencil, says Laura. Yes, they are. I think you do have to spend a lot more time, don't you, to get the effect you want with the pencils. Which I think is why I don't do it a lot, because most of the crafting that I do live with you guys. If I didn't do these sessions with you, I probably wouldn't get to craft hardly at all. So, which is, you know, something that is a real downside of doing what I do, is that you don't really get to do a lot of personal crafting. It's, well, I love doing the live crafting, because I'm getting to craft and play. But I also don't get to do some of the techniques that I would like to, because you only have a certain amount of time. You don't want to sit here and watch me for 4 hours putting a card together, which we all know that's easily done, isn't it? You can spend that amount of time on your project if you know, if you're doing certain techniques and things. So I don't really have that luxury when we're doing it live. So I would love to spend the time doing that with the coloured pencils, definitely. And I think the difference with the Copic markers, going back to what Julie was saying about how she prefers them as well, and the Illustrator ones, is the brush nib. So I did a couple of demonstrations at the show on Saturday where I showed how to create this, how to achieve the same look with a bullet tip, but it's much harder. It takes much more work. So if you are thinking of investing in any markers and you've not used them before, I would definitely suggest anything that's got a brush nib. Be very careful not to purchase the ones with the bullet tip if you want to get a really good blend. I accidentally purchased some of the hoo-hoos. They're very good markers, but I purchased the bullet tip by mistake, thinking I'd ordered the brush tip, and I was actually quite disappointed. They are great markers, but they don't seem to have the colour range, and they don't have, for example, let me just give you a quick example if I can. So the colours that we were just using, you have the range of your light, your mid-tone and your dark within that same shade. They don't have that yet with the hoo-hoos. So that does mean that it's really hard to find a colour that is going to give you that depth and shade. So that would also be my other little note on that one. So we've now got our cute little bunnies here. They're very cute. I do think that they need a little accessory though, which I have not done. So in the set you do get these little additions of some little flowers and things, and these little guys feel like they should be holding a little flower. So all I'm going to do is stamp this out super quick with a little block. Just think it'd be a finishing touch for them to be holding something. So we'll just do one there and do one there, and just put that there for the mo. And then I'm going to just do some super quick colour in here. I'm not really even thinking too much about what colours I'm using. Just some nice greens, those leaves, and then a nice warm pink. Let's try this pink. That's quite nice, but it might need a little bit. She says she's not thinking about it as she starts thinking about it. Pure pink. That's a bit of a brighter pink. I like that. So that's an RV23. I tend to not go for my RV shades that often, but they are really nice, so I should use them a little bit more often. So let's so what I'm doing here is I'm really just keeping my colour scheme very, very close together. So I don't think there is a next shade actually for this one, the RV23. There's an RV21. Let's try this one. What's this? Nice, very bright pink. Just add a little bit of that dark pink in the centre. And then blend that away. Elizabeth, hello there, says that she loves the card. Thank you very much. It's coming together, isn't it? So now we just need to cut out our little flowers. So again, you've got all the coordinating dies here for all of the bits, even coordinating dies for the sentiments in this set, which is cool. Even though we're not using them today, the sentiments, but they are there. Let's line this up. So I'm just going to pop my head over the top. Sorry about that, but I just want to make sure that this is, because it's quite small, I want to make sure it's fully aligned. And again, I'm just going to use the little machine for this. That just adds a little bit of something extra, doesn't it? And then this one as well. Okay. Now I think we're about ready to start putting this guy together. Okay. Pop my die away so I don't lose it, because I know what I'm like. And let's have a look at what we've got here. So let's pop that up there, and our Easter. I'm not sure quite how I want to pop that up yet. And our little bunnies can all go there. I've got some liquid glue here, and I'm going to use that to attach my frames. And just pop them in place, because we don't need any more dimension on the frames, because we want our sentiments to sit neatly over the top there. And the liquid glue dries clear, so if you do get any little bits to splotch out, then that's fine, but it just gives you that little bit of wiggle room, so you can line that up over your little aperture. Oh, doesn't that look so cute? Ashley says yes, looking super duper sweet. Thank you, Ashley. I love it when a plan comes together. And it wasn't really a plan, but it seems to have worked. And then I'm going to use the same liquid glue to pop this onto the back of my card. So you can see, because we've already got our shaker element completed with this bit of backing, it means now when I come to line this up on the front here, sorry, my head's in the way again. It's going to make it so much easier to line that up. Trying to get your card on your on the back of your shaker when you can't see where you're positioning is just a nightmare. So that's looking really cool. I think we'll do our little bunny rabbits next. So I'm going to just add some glue to his paw, and then give him his little flower. And the same on this guy's little paw. And then just have it poking out a little bit so it's not in front of his face. It looks like he's offering it to his friend. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of the sticky on my washi tape just to get rid of any of those little stray fibres that might be on my sentiment there. And then I'm going to use some little dots of glue all over the pack here. This sentiment. And then we'll pop that in place. Lovely. Julie says, do you have a group where you can share your makes? We do, Julie. It's the Time for Tea Friends page. Again, if there's any of the team on, they might be able to add a link. But it's called Time for Tea Friends page. And you can join up and you can you can share any of your makes. We love to see them. We do. So, yeah, we'd love it if you could join up and do that. That'd be so cool. So I think now we're almost there, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these on flat, and then maybe add some dimension to my sentiment. So we'll pop him just there. It's like he's sitting on a bed of those little shaker bits, isn't he? Sorry, I just need to blow my nose again. It's these lights. They always get me. Okay, so I think that's where I get like the tickly, sneezy. And then this little guy. Oh, they're cute. Oh, thank you, Jane. You're a star. So Jane is saying that it's a great group and everyone is so lovely and supportive and there's lots of great inspiration. That is so true. I mean, I don't know if the guys are still doing the card swaps, but there used to be a little bit of a card swap situation going on, didn't there? I love that as well. So the happy... Oh, shall we pop the happy there so it doesn't cover his ear? I like that idea. So, and then we've got Easter. Now I feel like the Easter might need to be popped up a little. And I want the end of the word to just finish on either side there, because it's, what's the word? It's an even number of letters. An odd number of letters would have been better, wouldn't it? But that kind of works, doesn't it? So let's get a bit of foam here. Elizabeth says she just cut these rabbits last night and the flowers. Well, that's you know, what's the word? Serendipitous. It was meant to be. I'll have to recreate a shaker. Pop the happy just there. Oh, I love this. Now, for the Easter, I could use my shaker tape here, but I'm gonna have to cut it up into lots of little bits. But I think I'm gonna try it. I don't normally do this. I would normally use the dies again, but I'm going to see if we can do this and it be a bit quicker than me putting them through the die cutting machine again several times. Because the great thing about the foam tape is that you can just cut it to the size that you want. And it is nice and narrow, but I don't know if it is narrow enough for these pieces. So let's have a look. I mean, we can cut it down, so as you can see, I've just cut that piece down there. Ooh. Get the right way around. So I think we might be able to do something here. Oops. just not adding it everywhere, but just in enough places to give the letters some support. Obviously, seeing anybody just put hundreds of bits of tape on something can be quite boring, so I do apologise if this is a bit dull TV, but that's unfortunately that is the live situation. Julie says, need to get back on that. Should have done one a while back, but completely slipped your mind. The card swap. Yeah, I think people really loved the card swap, didn't they, Julie? Julie says, have you thought about using foam sheets? So yes, that is normally what I would do, or I would cut a few pieces of cardstock and then layer those up to kind of make my own chipboard piece kind of thing. I guess I'm being lazy, but actually I'm not really achieving anything, am I? I'm not actually making things quicker for myself here. But I was being a bit lazy because I put my dies away. So I thought, shall we just see if we can do it this way? But then I start off really neat and paying attention. And then like that one, you see that one's not very straight and is hanging over the edge. Because I start to get bored with the process. So yes, Julie makes a very good point. If you don't want to do this, then please do use foam sheets. Or you can cut out a few pieces of cardstock and layer those up. But we've done it now, so I'm warm now. So let's go back to where we were. We had an S and a T at either side of this guy, and then we'll have had an E just there, a just about there. Maybe that's the way we do it, and then an E. And I've spelled Easter correctly, hopefully. I am bad for that, to be honest, for not spell checking things. So let's hope that the next set of next set of stamps is spelt correctly, because Ant is meant to be my proofreader and he'd been too busy to proofread. So I was trusted to do it myself, and that could have been a disaster. Okay, so that one is showing a little bit, so I'm just going to squidge it up a little bit there. I'm trying to get them all lined up. If you really perfectionist, you could use your T-square ruler to make sure these are all super straight on top. Shall we do that? Shall we be super pernickety about it? See, that one's definitely not straight, is it now? Look. So if we line that up on there. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I thought that could have been much worse. Although, that don't feel straight to me. That's straight, isn't it? There we go. And then the A. We're nearly there. Whew. Nearly there, guys. And also, you could use your reverse action tweezers to help you position things as well. I'm being super lazy, aren't I, today? Then I feel like that needs to be moved over, but I don't know if I can get it up now. They look okay. This one's just, I feel like it needs to just be moved slightly, but I don't know if I can get it up without ripping everything. So, seems to have stuck super well to that acetate. See. it's stuck. Pulled a little bit of my card stuck off there, but not too worried. Probably put it in exactly the same place, haven't I? Now I'm being weird about it because I think I'll probably just put that in exactly the same place. Oh dear. The things that we do, eh? So, I think that looks so cute. I'm really happy with this. So, the finishing touches, as always, I love to do a little bit of my white Jelly Roll pen. So I'm just take some of the bit off the surface there, and I'm going to add some little rosy cheeks and some little highlights here and there, because that just makes things pop a little bit. Very cute. And I'm also going to do the same onto my my little letters here, just because again I think that just helps them stand out. And there's no kind of rules to this for me. I just do wherever I feel, I don't know, wherever I just feel like doing it, really. Try not to put my finger in it like I did the other one the other day. A few little just dots and dashes, and that just finishes that off, I think. And I'm going to add a bit more just there. Well, my Jelly Roll pen's not playing ball, but I think it's just about working. Sometimes you just need to encourage the flow a little bit gently. I've got another one somewhere. I could use my Uniball. I think I've got another one actually. There we go. Just needed a little bit of gentle encouragement. Cute. And a few little whisker marks. Highlight there. You guys can see all of that. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to see, isn't it? And a few bits on the flowers as well. Lovely. So I'm quite liking this so far. I think I'm going to add some glossy accents to the noses. There. And then the thing that I did the other day when I smudged it was using my black glaze pen to add some glaze to the eyes, and then I put my finger right in it, didn't I? So how cute is that? I'll just give you a closer look. I can't see what's going on my screen here, so bear with me while I just... see what I'm doing now. There we go. What do we think to that? It's cute, isn't it? And I can shake it around on my shaker bits. And the other thing that you could do as well is, obviously we've got this little pot of shaker bits here, and we could pull out some of these to add into our background, just as little cute little elements we've got the little Easter eggs as well. They're cute, aren't they? Some little tulipy pieces. Another fun little Easter egg. Just brings the whole thing together. So I could actually do that potentially. What do we think? Don't know if it needs it. That's quite cute, isn't it? What do we think? A few little extra bits. I don't know if it needs it really, but does it make it too busy? I never know when to stop. That's my problem. It's very cute. Maybe that one goes up there. That one goes there. Little rainbow little thing. Oh, well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. The more the merrier. It's an Easter card. That's what Easter's all about. Excess of chocolate. Who eats a lot of chocolate over Easter? I'm not a big chocolate lover. I do like chocolate, don't get me wrong, but I don't have an awful lot. I don't have a really sweet tooth. Ant has. He has the sweet tooth for us both, definitely. And I think Julie, you bought. Did you buy him like an Easter egg? Like Cadbury's bar when you came to the class. He loved it. Yeah, so I don't really have Easter eggs, but we've had a bit of a bad weekend because we've not been eating particularly well because we've been away, and I treated myself to a Milky Bar chocolate egg. It was just a little tiny one, about 6 million calories in it, but oh my goodness, it was delicious. I enjoyed every mouthful. So yeah, so there we go. I've added a few extra little bits to it. You didn't need to do that, but I couldn't resist. And there's a little shaker. Happy Easter! Yay! Yes, you bought Aunt a mini egg choc bar that didn't last long at all, did it? No, it certainly didn't. He does love his chocolate, but he's been super good at the moment. So there we go. That's our little Happy Easter card. I really love the colours that we've chosen here. I think it looks so fresh and spring-like and very Easter. And I think using your oval dies to create your apertures and create a shaker. It's just a really cool way of using them. So oh, thank you so much. Jane says fun. Ashley says, oh, I love that. Oh, thank you so much. And Julie says she loves chocolate whether it's Easter or not. And now you need chocolate. Sorry guys, I've made you all want some chocolate. But it's practically Easter. You might as well. All of April, you might as well just eat chocolate. Cool. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I've absolutely loved doing that. Like I say, these live sessions are just great for me to be able to have a chance to craft and do something creative and fun with you guys and chat to you. So and welcome to Julie, who's a new follower, and anybody else, like I say, who's watching on the replay and is new to the channel, welcome too. I shall see you then on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock for another Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And yeah, I shall be in touch with news about the new DT very, very soon. Thank you so much, guys. See you all really soon. See you soon, guys. Bye. Bye. Oh, Jane, thank you. Sorry, I've just seen Jane's comment about my hair. Thank you. Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon.